Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 73, top of the page with the words V'lema Machlokas Rabbi Shimon V'Rabbanan. V'lema Machlokas Rabbi Shimon V'Rabbanan, Hakamash Milan, de Rabbi Menachem Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon Svirale. The Gemara asks, but let us say that this is the dispute between Rabbi Shimon and the rabbis, as it was concluded previously that according to Rabbi Shimon himself, even the carob and sycamore trees are not consecrated. The Gemara answers, Reish Lakish teaches us this, that Rabbi Menachem, son of Rabbi Yossi, holds in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, and therefore Rabbi Shimon is not the only sage who holds his opinion. Hadron Allah HaMocher Sabayas, we shall return to you. Mocher Sabayas, the fourth parak, the fourth chapter of Batra, Mocher Sabayas, one who sells a house, we'll return to you. Starting the new chapter, the fifth chapter of Mocher Sasfina. New Mishnah. HaMocher Sasfina, Machar es HaToran, Yesanes es HaOgin, Ves Kol HaManhigin Osa, Aval lo Machar lo es Avadim, Velo es ha-martzufin, Velo es ha-antike, Usman shamarlo, Hi v'chol mash besocha, Hare hulan muchorim. The Mishnah says, one who sells a ship has sold along with it the toran, and the nes, and the ogin, and all the equipment that is used for directing it. But he has not sold the slaves who serve as oarsmen, nor the packing bags that are used for transporting goods, nor the antike on the ship. And when one said to the buyer, you are purchasing it, the ship, all that it contains, all these latter elements are also sold. Toran, now the Talmud says, Toran, the Toran is the mast, or the Iskaria. And in this regard, it states, they have taken cedars from Lebanon to make masts for you. Ezekiel 27 verse 5. Iskaria v'cheinu omer, they quote a verse to support the etymology. Erez milvanon lakhu la sot toren alai alaich. Nes, adra. The nes is the sail, and in this regard it states, B'chein hu omer shesh berikma mimitzrayim haya mefarsech lios lecha lenes ogin tani rabichia elu oginin shela b'chein hu omer halahen tishbarna ad asher yigdelu halahen ta'egna tagena levilti heyot leish. So basically, just to read this again, to get a clear picture, we're supporting the meanings of these words from verses. The Toran is the mast. It states they have taken cedars from Lebanon to make masts for you, Ezekiel 27:5. The nes is the sail, and in this regard it states, one fine linen with richly woven work from Egypt was your sail, that it might be to you for an ensign. A nes, Ezekiel 27 Verse 7, with regard to the meaning of ogim, Rechia teaches these are the ship's anchors, and so it states, would you tarry for them until they are grown? Would you shut yourselves off from the ta'agina and have no husbands? Ruth 1:13, which is interesting, that someone named Ruth said hi to me this morning, so that's kind of interesting. Ruth 1:13. This demonstrates, her name is Ruti, but it's the same thing. This demonstrates that the root ayin, gimel, nun, means being shut up and held firmly in one place. I guess that's where the word aguna comes from. A woman who can't get remarried or something, yeah. Manhigin, Amar Rabbi Abba, Elu Hamashotin Shela, וכן אומר, אלוהים מבשן עשו משותייך. ויבייסמה מהכה וירדו מהמותן, נזיהם כל טוב שמשות. The Mishnah teaches the bar acquires all the equipment used for directing the ship. Rabbi Abba says, these are the ship's oars, as it states, and the oaks of Bashan, they have made your oars, Ezekiel 27, verse 6. Since the verse discussing ships focuses on its oars, evidently the oars are an integral part of the ship. And if you wish, say instead that it demonstrated from here, and all that handle the oar, the mariners, and all the pilots of the sea, shall come down from their ships, Ezekiel 27:29. Tanu Rabbanan, the sages taught, Hamoiches asvino mochares ha'is kalo, v'yasbor ha'mayim shebesoichon, Rabbi Natsanoi men mochares asvino mochares ha'bitzis, Sumchos oimer mochares asvino mochares ha'dugis. Hadugis. The sages taught one who sells a ship also sold the gangway used for boarding the ship and the water tank it contains. Rabbi Natan says one who sells a ship has sold the ship's boat, the bitzit, which is used as a lifeboat or for fishing in shallow waters. Sumcha says one who sells a ship has sold a dugit, whatever that means. It says it will be explained below. Omar Rava said, bitzit, hainu dugit. Rava said the bitzit is the same as the dugit. Rabbi Natan was a Babylonian. Rabbi Natan bavlo'o hava karele butzit. Kid amri inchi butzioto dima ashon. Sumchus devar eretz Yisrael karele dugit. Tiutiv v'achritan bisirot duga. Rabbi Natan was a Babylonian, and therefore he called small boats butzit, as people would say, the botziata, small boats, kind of like in English too, boats, botziata, interesting, of Miashan. Sumchos, who was from Eretz Yisrael, called his boats dugit. As it is written, you shall be taken away with hooks, and your residue in fishing boats. Duga, that might be close to like fish. Dug, dog, And that's it from Amos, chapter 4, verse 2. Amar Rabba says, Yishtoili nachois yama, haingalo dimatam lesvino. Mitchazeki tsutita de gurachi veurta bereshe. Umechinan le beonate lechakikale. Ehye asher ehye ya Adonai tzvaot amen amen sela v'naech. The Gemara cites several incidents that involve ships and the conversation of seafarers. Rabbah said, seafarers related to me that when this wave that sinks a ship appears with a ray of white fire at its head, we strike it with clubs that are inscribed with the names of God, I am that I am, Yah, the Lord of hosts, Amen, Amen, Selah, and the wave then abates. Amar Rabbo ishtauli nenechois yamo. Rabbah said, seafarers related to me that in a certain place, Nachoti Yama Ben Galilgalatolos Mea Parsi. I'll read the whole Aramaic part so that I can read a large portion in English so that it will be understandable, as opposed to translating like word for word, line for line. Ben Galilgalatolos Mea Parsi Varuma de Galilgalatolos Mea Parsi Zimanachada Havezlin Biorcha. Midalinen gala de chazinen ber merabate de chov chavazuta Yavalik mivzar 40 grizi bezara de chardala V'ida linen tefe have mekalinen mehavale. In English, that is, Rabbah said, seafarers related to me that in a certain place between one wave and the next wave there are 300 parasangs, a certain distance. And the height of a wave is 300 parasangs. Once the seafarers recounted We were traveling along the route, and a wave lifted us up until we saw the resting place of a small star. And it appeared to me the size of the area needed for scattering 40 sa'ah of mustard seeds. And if it had lifted us higher, we would have been scorched by the heat of the star. Virami, I don't know, that's a little bit, that's a little far up, wouldn't you say? The wave taking you up to outer space to where the star is? Anyway, Virami le gala de kala de chavate. Chavariti shavakti mini be'al manalo shavati. Dineche ana v'navda. Amar le pok chazi, gevurta de marich. מלכות דחלה ולא אברי שנאמר אותי לא תיראו נאום השם אם מפניי לא תחילו אשר שמתי כל גבול לים חוק עולם ולא יעברנו חוק עולם ולא יעברנו. And the wave raised its voice. The wave raised its voice and shouted to another wave, my friend, did you leave anything in the world that you did not wash away, that I may come and destroy it? The second wave said to it, go out and see. Puk chazi, go out and see the greatness of your master, God, as even when there is as much as a string of sand on the land I cannot pass. As it is stated, will you not fear me, said the Lord? Will you not tremble at my presence? Who has placed the sand for the bound of the sea, an everlasting ordinance which it cannot pass. Jeremiah 5:22. Amar Rabba lididi chazile hurmin bar lilit. Ki karait akupe di shure mechoza. V'rahi parashat ki rachiv chavata mitatoi. V'lo yochele zimnacha dahavi mesaragon letarti kudanaite v'kayamhan. Rabba said, I have seen one called Hurman, the son of Lilith. When he was running on the pinnacles of the wall of the city of Mahoza, and a horseman was riding an animal below him, but was unable to catch up to him. Once they saddled for him 2 mules, and they stood. Okay, it's a cliffhanger. Let's just finish this because it's going to go on to the next page, but we can't be left hanging here. Basically, this dude was running faster than a horse, which is also kind of like really outlandish, kind of, hard to believe. But anyway, this dude named Hurman, the son of Lilith, was running on the pinnacles of the wall of the city of Mahoza, and a horseman was riding an animal below him, but was unable to catch up to him. Once they saddled for him 2 mules, and they stood on the bridges of the river Rognag, and he jumped from this one to that one, from this one to that one. And he was holding 2 cups of wine in his hands, and was pouring from this one to that one, and from that one to this one. 2 cups of wine in his hand? Okay, maybe there was wine in one and an empty one. He was going that, whatever. And from this one to that one, and not one drop fell to the ground. Wow. And that day was stormy. Similar to the description in a verse dealing with the seafarers, they mounted up to the heavens, they went down to the deeps, their soul melted away because of trouble. Psalms 107:26. He continued in this manner until word of his behavior was heard in the house of the king, and they killed him. What to make of this story, I have no idea. It might be code for something, because to take it literally would be. I'm not saying it can never happen, but we'll leave it at that. And you know what? We're going to start the next daf with the same story.